The lead developer for the proposed new White Sox stadium in the South Loop answers questions about the $10 billion project.
The big question, who will pay for it?
The Chicago White Sox are gearing up to build a new home, and you would think that the people would be happy about this. Well, they're not. But why? Stick around, because this controversy is way bigger than it seems, and we've got all the juicy details. But first, make sure you like this video and you're subscribed to Visionary Builds. The big plan, a new home for the White Sox. The Chicago White Sox have a bold vision for their future, and it's a game changer. They want to build a brand new state-of-the-art ballpark designed not just for baseball, but to completely elevate the fan experience to a whole new level. The plan is to create a 35,000-seat stadium filled with all the latest technology, bigger and better seating options, and modern amenities that'll make every trip to the game more exciting than ever before. Whether you're a lifelong Sox fan who's been to every home game for years or just someone looking for a fun day out with family and friends, this new stadium is intended to be nothing short of spectacular. One of the most talked about features of the new stadium is its focus on fan comfort. The White Sox know that to truly create a memorable experience, it's not just about what's on the field, it's about how you feel when you're in the stadium. That's why they've made sure that every seat in the house will have a great view of the field. No more worrying about being too far from the action. The new design also includes wider concourses so fans will have more space to walk around and enjoy the atmosphere without feeling cramped. There will also be more bathrooms available throughout the stadium to cut down on long lines and better food options that go beyond typical ballpark snacks. I'm talking about local favorites and healthier choices to make sure everyone has something they love to eat. Accessibility is also a huge priority in this new design. The stadium will be built with people with disabilities in mind, ensuring that everyone can enjoy the games without any hassle. The ramps, seating arrangements, and other features will be designed to make getting around as easy as possible for everyone so no one feels left out. Whether you're in a wheelchair or have a stroller, the White Sox want to make sure everyone's comfortable and able to fully enjoy the game experience. Technology is another big part of this plan. The new stadium will be equipped with massive HD video boards that'll make sure fans don't miss a single moment of the action, whether they're up in the nosebleeds or right behind home plate. The sound system will be upgraded to make every cheer and every hit even more exciting, and the lighting setup will create a game day atmosphere that's better than ever before. But the tech upgrades won't stop there, as the stadium will have better Wi-Fi and mobile connectivity so fans can stay connected, stream replays, and engage with the game in new ways. Imagine being able to check stats, chat with friends, or post about the game on social media all in real time while you're at the stadium. Now, it's worth mentioning that the stadium itself is just one piece of this huge project. The new ballpark will be built at the 78, a massive 62-acre area in the South Loop of Chicago that's currently undeveloped. Right now, it's just an open space, but the goal is to turn it into something much more. The location's meant to become Chicago's 78th official neighborhood, and the stadium will sit at the heart of it all. It's not just about baseball, it's about creating a whole community. Around the stadium, the plan includes developing apartments, hotels, restaurants, and entertainment spaces. The goal is to turn this area into a lively year-round destination that doesn't depend solely on the baseball season. Even when there's no game happening, people will have reasons to visit. Restaurants, bars, and entertainment venues will keep the area buzzing with activity. Whether people are catching a live band, enjoying a meal, or simply hanging out. The hope is that this area will become the kind of place where people live, work, and play all in one spot, making it an attractive destination for both locals and tourists alike. With that said, the economic impact of this project could be huge. The stadium and its surrounding developments are expected to create new businesses, bring in more jobs, and boost local tourism. More visitors means more people spending money at local restaurants, hotels, and shops. And as we've seen with other similar projects, this type of development can bring a real spark to a neighborhood's economy. Chicago has had success with revitalizing areas through projects like this, and the South Loop could be the next chapter to experience that same growth. How much will it cost? As you can imagine, building a brand new baseball stadium is never cheap, and this one's no exception. The proposed home for the Chicago White Sox is expected to cost around $2 billion in total. That is a massive amount of money, and the way it's being raised has become a big part of the conversation. A huge portion of the funding is being requested from public sources, and this amount is around $1 billion. This means the team's owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, is asking for taxpayer money to help cover a big chunk of the cost. But that's not all. Reinsdorf has also said that he's willing to contribute some of his own money to the project. Although the exact amount hasn't been confirmed, it's clear that a mix of public and private funds will be needed to make this stadium happen. Now, let's talk about exactly where the public funding would come from. One key part of the plan involves using tax revenues. This includes a proposed 2% hotel occupancy tax, meaning visitors staying in Chicago hotels would help fund the stadium through added fees on their hotel bills. The idea behind this is that tourists would help pay for a project that's expected to bring more visitors and businesses to the city. Another potential source of funding comes from tax breaks and incentives offered by the city and state. These kind of incentives are commonly used to attract big projects, especially when they promise to make jobs and boost the economy. The developers behind the stadium project are likely negotiating with city officials to secure these financial benefits, which could reduce the amount of private money they need to invest. In addition to public funding, the White Sox may also explore private investment options. This could include sponsorship deals, naming rights for the stadium, and partnerships with local businesses. Naming rights alone could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars if a major company decides to attach its name to the new ballpark. Why are people talking about this so much? So, why are people so upset about the new stadium? Well, the White Sox's plan to build a new stadium using public money has many residents fired up. They feel it's unfair to spend tax dollars on a privately owned team's project. On social media, folks are expressing frustration with things like, "Why should our hard-earned money go to a billionaire's project, and we have more important things to fix in our city than building a new ballpark," are common. These sentiments highlight a widespread belief that public funds could be better allocated to other pressing city needs. In town hall meetings, the atmosphere is charged. Residents voice concerns that the new stadium might not benefit their neighborhoods. Some fear increased traffic congestion and rising living costs. They argue that the promised economic boost might not trickle down to everyday citizens. Lawmakers are also weighing in. Some are skeptical about using public funds for the stadium. They question whether it's a wise investment and if it truly serves the public interest. This skepticism adds more fuel to the ongoing discussions. Petitions are also gaining traction. One in particular is gathering signatures from people who strongly oppose the use of public money for the new stadium. This shows that the resistance isn't just talk, as people are taking action to make their voices heard. Even experts are chiming in. Some suggest that the economic benefits promised by new stadiums often don't materialize as expected. They caution that the city should carefully consider the potential risk before committing such a large sum of public money. What's next? Right now, the plan for the new White Sox stadium is still being pushed forward, even though many people have raised concerns. The team's owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, and the developers are not giving up. They believe the project is too big and too important to abandon, so they're doing everything they can to convince lawmakers and the public that this stadium is going to be a game changer for Chicago. They know that without public support, it'll be difficult to move forward, so they're carefully crafting their arguments to make the project look as beneficial as possible. One of the main ways they're trying to win people over is by focusing on jobs. They claim that the stadium and surrounding developments will create thousands of jobs, both during construction and after it's built. Construction workers, vendors, security staff, maintenance crews, and many other workers will all be needed to keep the stadium running. They also say the new businesses, restaurants, and hotels in the area will bring even more job opportunities, giving Chicago's economy a boost. Another key selling point is how much money the stadium could generate for the city. The White Sox and their developers argue that bringing a brand new modern stadium to the South Loop will attract more fans, more tourists, and more events, which means more money getting spent in Chicago. Big concerts, sports tournaments, and special events could be hosted at the new stadium, filling up hotels, restaurants, and shops in the area. The idea is that the more people the stadium attracts, the more tax revenue the city will collect, making it a win-win situation. But even with these promises, there are still doubts, especially about the public funding part. Many people don't like the idea of taxpayers helping to pay for a privately owned team stadium. To ease these concerns, the White Sox and their developers are looking at different ways to cover the costs. One major plan is to use tax revenue from the businesses that will be built around the stadium. Another idea, as we've mentioned before, is a 2% hotel occupancy tax, which means tourists who visit Chicago and stay in hotels would be helping to fund the project instead of regular taxpayers. But even with these efforts, some lawmakers are still not convinced. They want clear guarantees that the stadium won't end up costing the taxpayers more than expected. They also want to make sure that local communities will actually benefit from the project and it won't be just another deal that helps the rich get richer. So until these concerns are addressed, the stadium plan remains in a tough spot. But if the plan does get approved, don't expect construction to start immediately. First, the city and state will need to finalize agreements, secure funding, and handle all the legal approvals. Once that's done, the actual construction process could take 3 to 4 years or even longer. That means the White Sox won't be able to move into their new home till at least 2028 or 2029. For now, everything's still up in the air. The team and developers are pushing forward, while lawmakers and the public continue to raise questions. And until a final decision is made, the future of the new White Sox Stadium remains uncertain. While we wait to see what happens, tell us in the comments if you think this project is worth taxpayer money or not. We're committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more visionary builds.